What's up? Got the code game on point tonight. Oh, wait. R8RBEAR! Woo! There it is. Aww, let's go. I know, right? Rockin' Raging Raider Rhino tonight. Look at that. Look at them beans. Wow. Check him out. Raging Raider Rhino. He's probably got more still. Woo! Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Rick. Woo! What? Woo! You heard me. The R8RBEAR! Los Raiders! Probably playing you guys tonight. Alexa, stop. Sometimes I talk to her kind of like matter of fact, like, look, woman. Okay, get that there. Put this over here with this. Got my notes together because I have so much that we have to discuss. And before I get started, consider a subscription to R8RBEAR family page. It's just $5 a month. You can cancel it anytime, but you won't want to, because we're doing things all over the world, saving lives, helping the homeless, single moms, and children fighting cancer, and punks for autism. So we're doing it, making a difference one day at a time. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Let me go back to the beginning of my comments here. Tradish! R8RBEAR live. First comment. Woo! MVP tonight goes to Mark Bargus on YouTube. Honorable mention to Jim Vanderlyn and David Pell Kaliva, who's like the Mount Rushmore of this stuff. Here we go again. First place, my gold medal tonight from Facebook, Josh. He must have heard me yesterday. I'm like, Josh, you got to come back, man, and assert your dominance. And here he is, the heavyweight champion of the world. No, I can touch him. Second place, my silver medal, Lucky Pace. Finally got to meet him in person in Dallas. Great guy. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Chris Strong. I don't know, man. Do you think anyone's ever gone by like weak? You know, Mike and Chris weak. No. Chris Strong, you know what I mean? You can do Strong as a last name, but you can't do weak. That's weird. All right, what's up, everybody? Appreciate you all tuning in. Let me say hi to other individuals who said hi to me. Charles Loy, what's up? Welcome to the show. Miguel Garcia lets us know that 559 Fresno is in the house. No, Wilts Duncan. No, I saw you coming this time. Tell me something good. I can't help it. I love that. Anna Diaz Rincon, my first subscriber ever. Mwah. What's up, love? Welcome to the show. Marcus Atchison, how you doing, man? Welcome. Good to see you. I appreciate the love on the jacket. Ramiro Cashflow Castro in the house, like always, supporting R8RBEAR. Victor Ribby, what's up, man? Good to see you. I'm always glad to see you, brother. Say hi to the missus for me. Larry Brooks Jr., how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Denton Rhodes from Canaveral, Florida. Cape Canaveral, excuse me. Space Force. Denton Rhodes. Never stop, Denton Rhodes. Never stop. I'm probably going to do this show for another 10 years. I don't know how many of you know this. This is my 10-year anniversary for doing Raider Bear Live. I've been doing this for 10 years. And something came up from one of my viewers the other day, and it made me really it made me really sit up and wonder what I should do about this. And what I mean by do about this is he was saying that, more people should know what I've done. And I thought that was really nice. But he also said I should check for myself how many people's lives that I've affected and changed, in this process. And right when he did that, I just thought, wow, because I never thought of it that way. You know what I mean? I'm not a big, look at me, kind of person. I play like that, but that's not how I am. So I didn't even know what my numbers were. I stopped paying attention to how many shows I did at like 6,000. It was somewhere like 6,338 or something like that. And I didn't even know that. It just flashed on my screen one day from Facebook on another program I was using. It's like, wow. And by the way, that was like 3 or 4 years ago when I got that. So there's no telling how many shows I have now. Troy Gill, what's up? Welcome to the show. Larry Brooks, good evening to you, good evening to you, brother. Appreciate you. Stephen Shaw, what's up? Welcome to the show. Dustin King. Mark Alvarez, Vernell Capitan, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Shout me out and April. What's up, April? Welcome to the show. Vicky Ginn, the bear is on the air. Right on. April Capitan. I like that, Vernell. Okay, let's see. John Rogers Jr., Travis Kelly, what's up? I see almost everybody now. John Rogers Jr. All right, let's get to it. So the Raiders interviewed another OC. This one I thought was kind of interesting. It's the Chicago Bears former OC. His name is Luke Getsy. And I looked him up a little bit. He's interesting. Yeah, he's a lot of experience. And I'm not willing to go out of my way and do what I sometimes do for you guys and say, hey, Raider Nation, we should be excited about this guy. I don't know yet. I really honestly don't know yet. From what I mean, what's our one way to really make a comparison and know if this guy's any good? Follow their offense and watch it on TV, find their statistics online, and then you can go from there. Now, as far as percentage and scoring and things like that, they weren't very good, but there's no way to know that if that was the offensive coordinator or the fact that they didn't really have a great quarterback. Dustin Fields, to me, seems like a guy that's going to have a great career as a football player and a quarterback, just not with the Chicago Bears. I think wherever he ends up, he'll mature and he'll be better. I really do think that. Dayton, Ohio in the house. Vicky! Yeah! Okay, now on auction tonight, to the person who contributes the most stars tonight, will go this fine item, the Dia de los Muertos Las Vegas Raiders wooden sign. Yes, it's wood, not plastic. So this is one of those cool like pub signs that you see hanging right above the door outside. So it lets people know this is a nice pub establishment. It's cut in that circular pub style. It's pretty cool. And it says on it, Dia de los Muertos. And then it has the skull, and you can see I don't know if you can see it from that far, but they actually adorned the skull. It looks really cool. I also have my Raider Bear Live patch right there. And I also have the Raider Nation patch that has that like 3D the 3D threading on it. And this pair of Raiders Lokes. That's right, Raider Lokes. Check it out. Oh, I broke them now. It's not worth anything. The Raider Lokes. Get them up close so you guys can see how they stamped the Raiders logo on there. Really cool. And then you can see right there, NFL endorsed. I didn't get this off some cheap website. It's not from a flea market or anything like that. I'm not naming any names, but I do know a guy who hosts a show. And he's always doing that. It's just so bad. He'll buy like knockoff stuff and stuff from flea markets and then tell people, oh, yeah, this is authentic NFL stuff. And it's not. Bobby Ware, what's up, B-Dub? Welcome to the show. I don't know what to think about the Telesco hire. How do you feel about it? Marcus Atchison, welcome to the show again. And I would say to you that to the audience, he's asking me about the new offensive coordinator that we did sign in Tom Telesco. Now, most of us were hoping it would be Champ Kelly. And even though I had hopes that it would be Champ Kelly, I wasn't necessarily 100%. I mean, I felt like it was going to happen. I really did. I don't want to backpedal now. I thought Mark Davis was going to do it, but I didn't factor in the idea that Mark just might want someone else there and keep Champ Kelly as kind of like his guy. You know what I mean? You know how Batman has, hit that. I'm embarrassed. I can't remember his name now. But his butler, that took care of him, most of his life. Oh, did anyone else see that silver quilted lining? Yeah. This isn't for auction. No, you don't get the coat. The coat skills are all about the bear. Okay, here we go. Oh, Alfred. That's right. It was Alfred. See, I was stalling to try to remember Batman's Batman's guy's name. So anyway, he is Champ Kelly is kind of like Mark Davis's Alfred. You know what I mean? That's how he sees him. And so I think maybe Champ might be in a bad situation to get a higher position because Mark Davis honestly doesn't want him working there in that position now that he's had a chance to have him the way he is. As far as what I know about him, Marcus Atchison with Telesco, you have to look at what he did with the Chargers. I mean, he went into the Chargers organization and just kept hitting and hitting and hitting on talent. If you look back at his picks, it's pretty good. He brought in that safety, Derwin James. He brought in defensive line help, offensive line help, running back, and he hit on most of them. Most of them are pretty good. Sorry about my fidgeting around. Not really. I don't apologize. Oh, Raging Raider Rhino. I wonder if Rhino's watching. Okay, here we go. The hiring of Telesco makes me think they're going to go after Bo Nix. Well, Jose, I would say this to you. Maybe that's what it means, but I would also say that the Raiders, in my opinion, may trade down. Now, I do have something to tell you that I found surprising, but I think the Raiders should trade down. I just do. I know that we should. I know that there's other schools of thought. One, you get aggressive and you move up by using multiple trades in a package to another team who's already at the top. Now, in order for us to do that and have success at getting one of these quarterbacks, especially if we're going to be that specific when we want Bo Nix, we have to remember that there's 3 teams, I think it is, or maybe 4. There's at least 3 teams. Okay, here we go. The Chicago Bears, the Washington Commanders, and the New England Patriots could literally be justified in all of them going quarterback. We know that Washington doesn't believe in the kid they have, and they kind of did an AOC thing over there with their young quarterback. He was kind of in, kind of out, and then they said, "All right, you're the starter." And he played okay. I actually saw some of the Commander games, and I thought he was nice. I really did. I thought their young quarterback was nice. So I'm surprised that I'm reading that they may be looking at quarterback, but that's what I read. Okay. So the Bears, I don't think are in it though. I think the Bears are going to want to drop down, or they're going to do something that blows us all the way and like get the best offensive lineman or something like that at number 1, which would be crazy. Washington Commanders at 2, probably going for quarterback. New England Patriots at 3, probably going for a quarterback. Now, if we can get up to at least number 3, then we would have a shot at one of the better quarterbacks. Because like we say, there's like 5 in this draft that can play. So if you get up to number 3, you're pretty much going to have your pick of a couple other guys that'll still be on the board. In fact, I would say they'll all be on the board but one, because I don't think the Chicago Bears are going to go quarterback, even though they don't want to keep Justin Fields. I just don't know that they want to go to quarterback right now when they have so many other things they want to work on. So we'll see. I don't know. There was also Mel Kiper Jr.'s first, his first draft, his idea of what teams will do. And he had us picking this kid named, I got it right here, Terrion Arnold from Alabama. Now, I only needed to refresh myself with his name. I know who he is, and I know he can play. And it's worth a pick that high if we were to pick him at 13. Let's make sure I got that right. Yeah. Oh, no? Okay, yeah. So there's 2 schools of thought out there. I keep seeing two different ways we're supposed to pick. I see people saying we're picking 13th, and then I see people we're going on the 11th pick. Who is this? Let me see. Yeah, this is the Raiders. This is the Raiders page themselves, and they're putting it up there that the Raiders don't choose until number 13. Or did they move up? And I didn't realize that. Maybe they did, because you don't have to wait for the draft to do little side deals like that. Santino Carranco, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Steve Marchand, I'm excited about the new GM. I am. I think that he's going to do the same thing he did for them in LA and San Diego. I think that he has a shot at being a hell of a GM, because remember, look at the personnel he had on the look at the personnel he had with the Chargers. You know what I mean? Not bad. And remember, he's one of the guys that went after Khalil Mack. So can't be that bad. Putting foots in now for 10 years. Tony, make it dip. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. You changed my life. I've got a brand new granddaughter-in-law. Mama Bear. Absolutely, Vicky again. Tony, make it dip said, oops, Bear. Fixed it. That's funny. Edwin Catalan Jr., what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Raider C-Dub said, we signed AP. Raider Nation, stand up. Oh, and we also beat the Chiefs. I don't care what they do this year, because they're going down to the Ravens, and then they won't win a Super Bowl, and then my foot going so far up of Patrick Mahomes, he'll be able to taste it, tapping his tonsils. Tommy, don't use that one. All right, here we go. Wow, 10 years. I stumbled across this podcast about 4 years ago, and I've been hooked since, yet we still haven't broken bread. You know, Bobby, we do need to do that. I really want to meet your kids. I want to meet your wife. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like I know you, you know what I mean? But as soon as I meet you, we're just going to start chopping it up, and, you know, we'll be fine like old friends. But I'm interested in seeing the rest of the family. Absolutely. I think everything will work out. The GM wasn't what we expected, but he will bring some prime players to this team. Anna, once again, as always, one of the few viewers I have that has a, you know, razor quick wit and sees these things and puts it in perspective. And I appreciate that love. Bo Hardigree was stuck with McIdiot's offense, so I wouldn't have minded if he had got a shot, but I trust AP. Well, Jim, honestly, we scored 0 points against the Browns. You know, you as an offensive coordinator, you can't do that. I think almost any offensive coordinator would agree that if you had a donut in a game in the, you know, 2000s, you know what I mean? It's just no. Vernell, what's up? I shouted him out. I think you were just asking again because I hadn't done it yet. Carlos Magana. April, how are you? You know, your husband, Vernell, just wanted me to say hello. He's got pull around here. he's a big man, you know. Got those dollars. He's paying for this. Tony, make it dip. Remember, stars contributed to the show go directly to this sweet pub sign. It is authentic wood. It says Dia de los Muertos on it. And I'm throwing in my personal bear whiteout patch, a Raider Nation black patch with 3D stitching, and as if I need to do more, NFL Raider stamped Lokes. I'm even going to make you look cool if you win this one. I mean, come on. Tony, make it dip. Get him, T. All right, let's see. Erman Jr., what's up? Welcome to the show. Doc Raider, much love. No, Vicky, again, you just got to come on the show and remind me. If you come on the show and you remind me, I'll just send you a pair. You people who've watched me as long as you have, you know, I try to hook you up. I know you know because I sent everybody shirts for free and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, you know, I would do that for you. No problem. Daryl Foster, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Alfred Ramiro, appreciate you, brother. Okay, let's see. Telesco feels like we got the Dolts sloppy seconds. Lucky pace one more time. Cracking up a bear. Me, meow. Hooray does. Mark Vargas said GM bear. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Really, really am. I think he's going to be good. Tony Make a Dip said, Bo Nick's baby. I'm going to say this, and I want you guys to respond to this question. Jim Vanderland, Rendell Rhodes, Tony Make a Dip, Mark Atchison. I want you guys to write your next comment on this thing. Okay, so whatever you're writing now, go ahead and hit send, and send that. And then I want you to come back to me with this. Do any of you think it's a warning sign that all these quarterbacks seem to be kind of bundled together? In other words, I don't see one of these quarterbacks like super outplaying everyone else. That's clearly the number one quarterback coming out of college. You know what I mean? We don't see that. We see some guys, we see they're capable. We're going to listen to Mel Kiper Jr., downgrade them, but also say the good things about them too, probably for a while. And I'm curious, do you think that it's a warning sign that none of these guys are really stepping out of the shadows? I mean, in truth, Caleb Williams is supposed to be the clear-cut number one quarterback going into this, coming out of this draft. But do you guys think that? Because I don't. I've had way too many people come on my show just to warn me, hey, Bear, I've watched Caleb Williams. I've watched all his games. He's either hot or he's cold. He's either this or he's that. He holds the ball too long and gets sacks and tries to extend plays when he shouldn't, and on and on and on. And it's like, gosh, I mean, you know, I'm not going to say who said this to me, but I don't want to put him on the spot. But at the same time, I thought that was a pretty good argument. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think about that. Are all the, in fact, and let me restate that. Do you think all these quarterbacks are the same? In other words, if we get the kid from LSU, or if we get Bo Nix, or whatever the case may be, they're kind of the same. You know, one doesn't overwhelm the other with their capability. How do you feel about that? Jim Vanderland said, do you think AP had any input on the GM? Honestly, Jim, I do think he did. And I think that might really be why Champ didn't get the job. And I don't think that that's bad. I really don't. I think that if you hire AP, you're tying his hands together. If you say, okay, now I'm picking your GM. Now, if he wanted it to be Champ Kelly, I'd have to think it would have been Champ Kelly. So in my opinion, this is AP. I'm not basing that on any facts. I don't have any snitches on this one, but I would say AP probably didn't want an inexperienced GM, you know? So, all right. The Telesca resume looks impressive, but do you think him being there will affect the culture AP's incorporated? Daryl Foster, that's a great profile picture. Welcome to the show. And I would say this to you again one more time. Not only do I think Telesco could do a good job, but the reason why I think it will affect AP is it's going to affect him. He's giving him weapons. He's going to give him more guys that build a solid situation. For example, what do you think the Bear would do in this draft? Now, if I was picking at 11, 13, whatever it is, whichever position they have the Raiders on again. But when we get to that pick, I have absolutely no problem with looking at my GM and saying, I need a right tackle. Get me the best right tackle in this draft. If he hasn't already been picked and we're already down to 11 or 13 and he's still on the board, give it up. Because you don't have to teach size. And most of what an offensive lineman does, they know. They've got it. It's not, they're not going up there to learn anything. It's not like wide receivers. You have to learn all the routes and, you know, and practice every day with a jugs machine. So, you don't drop the ball. It fires it at you like it does tennis balls on one of those machines. And I think offensive line would be very important. Now, having said that, if I had to go defense, I would say cornerback. I happen to think the cornerback situation, Mel Kiper Jr. immediately went to corner. I was surprised by that with a team that, in my opinion, has needs. We need help on the defensive line. We can't expect Jenkins to stop the run by himself. I'm not sure Tyree Wilson. I'm not really sure he's ready, although he did look a lot better toward the end of the year when they moved him inside and allowed him to play defensive tackle. So see, we may have something there. I don't know if he'll ever go back out to the outside. So especially when you consider that the Raiders are in rumors to be trying to get, what's that guy's name again? Hang on, I got it right here. Yeah, the pass rusher, Josh Allen from the Jaguars. If they get Josh Allen from the Jaguars, now you can look at corner because you have Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs, right? Already in place. So with Nate Hobbs, James Jones, and then you pick up this kid Terrian from the Alabama Alabama Tide or whatever they call themselves. That would be big, man. Tony, make it dip! Has Kingsbury been given a second interview yet? Marcus Atchison, no. And if you remember correctly, on my show just the other day, I said that if they're calling in Telesco for a second interview, he's probably got the job. Because usually the second interview is a clear indication that you're going to go with that guy, because there's no reason to have a second interview. There just isn't. Now I've heard people say, they've asked me on my show, they say, well, what if they wanted him to meet the coaching staff and the players first, so that the owner could see the reaction the players and the coaching staff have toward him? Yeah, they don't do that. They don't do that. I mean, it would make sense if you ask me, but they don't do that, because that just adds that much more pressure on Mark to make the decision. It's even harder than if he's just deciding by what he knows and interviewing him, Champ Kelly interviewing him, AP, Antonio Pierce, interviewing him, all three of them in the room with Kingsbury, and deciding on whether they think he's the man. That's it. The second interview is just to have him sign stuff, hug it out, introduce him to people and just letting them know he's going to be the guy. So anytime a guy gets a second interview, it probably means he's going to get the job. What do you think about Marvin Lewis hire? Ricky Conde Jr., I actually predicted that, the Marvin Lewis hire, because I don't think Patrick Graham is staying. I think the Raiders already know that. And I think that making this move for Marvin Lewis is a clear indication of it, that Patrick Graham's not going to stay. Now, the reason everything I just told you is true is because why would he fire Patrick Graham when he just got done reorchestrating the defense? And the second half of the season, we were the best defense in football, in my opinion. We were ranked, I think, 10th. I can't remember the last time we had a 10th ranked defense. I'm serious. I can't remember the last time we were at 10th in defense. And so that's impressive. So he's going to leave, and that sucks. But at the same time, Marvin Lewis, I would argue Marvin Lewis is a better coach. I'm dead serious. I'm not saying that just so you guys will sleep well tonight. Although I would, but no, I'm telling you straight, getting Marvin Lewis in here is huge. Really, really big. Jimmy Mata, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Let's see. If it can't get a QB with an arm, I say pass on QB. Yeah, Tony, I can't. Tony! Dip! I kind of agree. Okay, Mark Vargas is giving me the measurables on Bo Nix. He's 6'2", 215 pounds. Bo Nix, and Penix is 6'3", 215 pounds. Oh, so they're like identical. I didn't realize that. Well, that's pretty cool. You almost can't go wrong. Sonny Tyree, what's up? Welcome to the show. Sonny Tyree. I like that. Jonah Davis. Hey, Bear, at work, keeping in touch. Right on, Jonah. Welcome to the show, as always. Doc Raider, he's got a good one for me. Raider Bear, in my opinion, I don't think we should draft a quarterback. I'm starting to feel that way, too. And I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go after a veteran, someone nice, maybe a Kirk Cousins, someone that can hold the position at least a year, maybe 2, and get AOC right. You know what I mean? I think would be better off bringing in a good veteran to compete with and or mentor for O'Connell, and concentrate our draft picks on offensive line and some help for Max Crosby on the other side and defensive line. Fantastic comment, Doc Raider. I would only add that I think Russell Wilson would be a good fit. I know some people threw that at me. I know Lucky Pace is all about that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of in Lucky's camp as far as how I feel about that. Russell Wilson is already proven, guys. Even if he's washed up, like I happen to think he's washed up. But even if he's washed up, he still can throw that deep ball. He still can get out of the pocket and complete plays. So what we would have to do is streamline what he does so he doesn't have the opportunity to make big mistakes. For example, our squad runs the ball way better than the Broncos do. So a guy like Russell Wilson who could do some play action and get the defense to hesitate, with the Broncos, that doesn't work because defenses and defensive coordinators didn't fear the Broncos in their running game. So they went right at him. And so with us, that would be different. Troy Gill, what's up? Welcome to the show. Tony. Dip. On auction tonight is this fine item, the Dia de los Muertos wooden pub sign. I'm just calling it that. Also, my individual Raider Bear patch in white, another Raider Nation patch in black, and then to kick it off, it's like the sugar on top. It's like having dessert brought to you. A pair of Raider logo Lokes by NFL.com. Don't make me pull them up. Okay. Don't ask me if I can just swap meet or something. Okay. The tag's on it. Shout out to my wife from Vernell Capitan. Vernell Capitan wants to make a shout out to his lovely wife, April Capitan. Vernell, if you ask me to do it again, I'm going to delete you. I'm just kidding, bro. Troy Gill said, who's the new offensive coordinator? It's Ted Tala. Oh, no, it's not the offense. I'm sorry. I was thinking GM. Right now, the OCs that we have in for interviews are Luke Getsy. We've also talked to Alex Van Pelt of the Cleveland Browns, and actually a former NFL quarterback in Tom Pelissero of the Steelers. I'm sure Val is interested in that. But Tom Pelissero is going to interview with us. I think he may have, or it's tomorrow, maybe. I'm not sure. And then my last note, and I just wrote that down, was the one about Terry and Arnold, the cornerback from Alabama, and how he would fit with Nate Hobbs and Jack Jones. I just think that's a good fit. Tony, make it up. Go get it, Tony. I like that. You want something? You want something? You go get it. I mean, look how many items this is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 items in this one auction that you get. I'm probably going to have to mail you a box. I met Bear's family. He met mine. In fact, my grandson stole his wife. Okay, I invite you to my home. I share things with that little squirt you brought to my house, and then you have him try to steal my wife from me. Come on, man. That's not good. I only got lucky that he's so young. The draft is always iffy. Completely agree, Tony, make it dip. And in this instance, I'm saying, yeah, I think it could be very. Jose Tariquez, the Raiders need a playmaker at QB and need to go all in on moving up and get a franchise quarterback. The AFC West is only going to get harder with the Chargers hiring Harbaugh. The Donkeys are in need of a QB, might move up too. I don't like running quarterbacks. They don't win Super Bowls. Bobby, I answered that one quick, didn't I? Bobby Story, when it comes time to address corner position, are there any good prospects in free agency? Oh God, you asked me that now. I didn't work on that. I'll have to do that. I'll bring up more free agency list on tomorrow night's show because I don't want to answer that unintelligently. Jaden Daniels, Mark Vargas, 6'4", 209. Personally, I like the Jaden Daniels. I like that pick. I just don't think he's going to make it down to us, and I don't think we're going to move up far enough to take him off the board. John the Lion, Leon, I like the Telesco hire. If you just look at the job he did for the Chargers, which we all can do because he was in our division, he got that quarterback. Okay. He got Derwin James, picked up a great wide receiver or two, running back, and they're playing, and plus remember Andre Carter, the nice wide receiver, we got him from the Chargers. So Troy Gill says quarterbacks fall in the draft every year. Well, I think so, but with this one, the way it is, there's way more teams this time that feel like they need a quarterback that I doubt he's going to be there. Let me pull this up real quick. The Bears need a QB, and I'm not saying these teams are going to pick a QB. I'm just saying they do need one. Chicago Bears, Washington Commanders, New England Patriots, they're not going to stay with that kid. Arizona Cardinals will pass. Los Angeles Chargers will pass. New York Giants will not. Tennessee Titans will not. That's 5 teams right there. Then the Atlanta Falcons are going to need a quarterback. The Jets got theirs, but the Jets may surprise everyone and go in on a quarterback. Because remember what they have. They have a blonde-haired kid who's known more about the fact that there's more known about him than the fact that he sleeps with his mom's milfy friends. That little Power Ranger. He looks like the Green Ranger. And then you have in the polar opposite in Aaron, stuck up, self-absorbed, narcissistic, windbag. So I think the Jets might do something. Then Minnesota. Minnesota, I don't think is going to hold on to Kirk Cousins. I think that will happen. The Denver Broncos need a quarterback. I'm all the way down to 12. And I've got, a lot of quarterbacks I'm talking about. So all those teams need quarterbacks. So the likelihood that we'll get one is low unless we're willing to move up. And that's something else that we don't often do. I want them to go after the Lions backup Hendon Hooker. Yeah, I don't mind that. What, isn't it funny how the Lions are doing this year? They actually seem like they want it. Tony Bacon Dip said, yeah, I agree. But Bo Nix has played well, and I love him. He's ready in my observation. Watch him play. Right on. Drake May, 6'4", 229. Now that is a football body. Wow, he's coming in. Okay, let's see. I think Jaden Daniels will come in just like CJ Stroud. I don't know on that one. No one saw CJ Stroud coming. We all saw that he was a good college quarterback, but he had that stigma on him that he was playing in effect with a college version of an all-star team. But then he got to the NFL and he's still doing it. So I give him a lot of credit. As soon as some of these highly recognized players get drafted, they totally fail. Yeah, more often than not, they do. But I would say the kid with the Titans that they picked up, Levi, he looks like he's going to be the real deal for them. AOC looks like he's going to be the real deal for us. And Bryce Young, it's a little bit early. You got to remember, we're all laughing at Bryce Young because he ended up with the Panthers, and they're terrible. I think they won 2 games. Well, I would argue that that's as much the organization as it is the kid. I don't see Bryce Young suddenly going from this to in the basement. He would have been somewhere in between if that was even a half-ass, excuse my French, franchise, and it's not. I heard Tom Coughlin helping AP fill out his staff. Is that true? Rick Condi Jr., there are so many people working with AP. I'm not sure which ones are true. I did hear about the Tom Coughlin thing. For those of you who wonder if that's true, but could seem untrue, right? Because it's Tom Coughlin, legendary coach, really much older guy. He's, left football, blah, blah, blah. But one of his players was Antonio Pierce. So for him to work with them, with Antonio Pierce, it's huge. It's huge. You know what I mean? Because he's already got Richard Seymour, Tom Coughlin, and there was another one too. I forget about. I can't remember. Oh, Charles Woodson, but it wasn't Charles Woodson. It was Charles Woodson and another one. There's one guy, I can't remember who it was. So he's got at least 4 or 5 people though around him that are giving him pretty good advice. Gustavo Cortez said, I believe he's getting Jalen Daniels. Gustavo, I don't want to argue with you. I don't. I only want to say this. I just don't know if the Raiders are going to do what it takes to get Jalen Daniels. You know what I mean? It would be one thing if Jaden Daniels went to a small school. Maybe he makes it to 11 or 13. But he was at LSU. And Mel Kiper, and them, and, they're going to be talking about him. And I don't know if the owners are going to let that kid get down far enough for us to get him. How's it going, Bear? Fight? I'm doing well. Good to see you, brother. All is well. Is it true we have 10 home games? Seen a post. True. Plus, I heard Nick's is very good. Smart, accurate, and studies tape from that growth each time he hits the field. Doesn't make bad decisions. I need to see footage myself, but just what I've been reading. Yeah. That's not a bad take on Bo Nix. In other words, among the other quarterbacks, you might scout him as just slightly higher in the maturity category. He's a guy that doesn't allow hits and pressure to make him panic. There's a difference between a bad offensive line and you get hurt, or you're afraid because you don't want to get hurt, or you're the type that just understands these are going to happen sometimes. I'm going to keep playing. That's what he is. That's what CJ Stroud is. And he showed that will to keep going no matter how much he's hit. And, I'm impressed by that. And I feel like AOC did that too. He had his growth problems. We talked about this before he got the ball. I told you guys, he's going to have games where he looks great and he's going to have games where he looks bad. It's as raw a rookie as it gets on a team with the hardest offense in football at the time and the dumbest quarterback coach in the history of coaches of football in Josh McStinkybutt. Rendell Rhodes said, Caleb and Jalen will be phenomenal pros. They have game-changing talent. The remaining quarterbacks can be a crapshoot. Rendell Rhodes. Okay, see now that's kind of how I saw it, but I wouldn't have added Jalen. I would have said Caleb Williams by himself. Let's see. If Caleb Williams is the best quarterback coming out in the draft, I say we pass on drafting one and bring in a decent veteran like Doc said above. I think Cousins or Mayfield. Yeah, I'm on board with that, honestly. And now, if we did the other thing and went young and, paid, all we had to do to get Bo Nix or one of these guys, I mean, I'm going to be excited about that too because I'm a Raider fan for life. But I would actually rather they bring in a veteran because if you bring in another high-priced quarterback, now you have two high-priced quarterbacks. Even if he was a fourth-round pick, AOC can play. And I just think that we can get that out of him. I really do. I don't think we should give up on him that quick. You know what I mean? I heard analysts just saying, you have to get a quarterback because obviously AOC ain't the guy. And I'm like, obviously? I mean, really? You're looking at his rookie season. You wouldn't say that about most guys, but about him, you'll say, flush him because he had a couple bad games and had one game where he scored more points than any quarterback in Raiders history. Hold my beer. He said, hold my beer and went out there and put up hella numbers. Oh, sorry. Where's that at? Bada bing, bada bow. Bada doo da dee dow. All right, let me get that. I just want to make sure I wasn't getting text from like Linda or something like that. Okay, lucky pace. AP wanted Champ. That's why he wasn't let go today. Telesco had to accept the job knowing Champ is going to still be an assistant GM. Yeah, again, Lucky, that's kind of what I've been saying. I said that Mark Davis didn't want to lose him because he didn't want him to have those, all those responsibilities over here as a GM when he still wants him to be his yes man. So we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. I like Jack Jones. What do you think of him? Tony, I like Jack Jones. I like the fact that we know that he was one of Antonio Pierce's guys that he basically said, watch this. I have someone I know can really play. And then he came in and could really play. Mark Vargas says, Caleb Williams is 6'1", weighs 216, and is overrated, Bear. Yes, and Gustavo, yes, he personally knew Jack Jones, and he personally knows Jalen Daniels. So I could see why he would want Jalen Daniels. But do any of you think that he's going to jump that high? Now, if Telesco's on board, there's at least a smidgen of hope that the answer is yes, because that guy can draft. That dude can draft, man. Tom Telesco can draft. I mean, he may not do a lot of other things, but that guy puts teams together. Fied Galvan said, beast. Mark Atchison, it doesn't concern me because there's only three guys that are at cream of the crop. Those are Caleb Williams, Drake May, and the kid from LSU, Jalen Daniels. The other guys have a chance to be good, but I put my trust in those three that I mentioned. And please stay away from Bo Nix. How can you trust a guy that stayed in college for 5 years? Marcus Atchison just went Mortal Kombat. Oh, man, that's rough, man. Oh, he's only going to get better. I believe that. I do. I think you're talking about AOC, and I agree. Tyree Wilson should play D tackle. Mark Vargas, it's not that he should, but when we moved to the position, that's what moved him in that position. That's when all the better defense started coming. Now, we can associate that with Paul Gunther, but at the same time, he hadn't done that. And then suddenly he's like, well, let's try the kid on the inside. And, he's a bricklayer. That guy's, that's a big dude. And he's just not flexible. And for those of you who remember me, I scouted that guy. I told all of you we shouldn't get that guy. Well, everyone said, no, Bear, you're crazy. I'm like, we should get that guy. He's got no bend. What is it you see Max Crosby do all the time on every play? He bends the corner on offensive linemen. Sometimes he runs right at him in bull rushes. Sometimes he uses spin moves, but he has all that in his repertoire. Tyree Wilson does not. He ain't spinning on nobody. His idea of knocking the quarterback down is hike, smash, 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 smash. Oh, he threw the ball. That's pretty much what he is. For those of you laughing, I appreciate Jaden, Penix Jr., and Caleb are the top 3 QBs to me. Luck, Lucky, I agree, but I think obviously, I think Caleb's going to go first. Then I think Penix will go a couple. Well, let's do it again. Okay, let's do it one more time before I run out of time. Okay, so let's assume that Chicago takes Caleb Williams, and they're going to let Justin Fields go. Why don't we pick up Justin Fields? Why don't we pick up Russell Wilson? Why don't we pick up Kirk Cousins? I can keep going. That's just 3. But any of those 3 veteran quarterbacks would be a good fit for me and the Raiders. Okay, but let's stick to the question, though. Lucky said those are the top 3. So that means we have to be able to get up somewhere to get the 1, 2, or 3 quarterback. Okay, so let's look at that. Chicago Bears probably go quarterback with Caleb Williams. That's off the board. Washington Commanders, they probably go quarterback. That's off the board. And then New England. And they may even do it in the order that you put it down. But if one of those teams bows out, like, for example, the New England Patriots might feel like Jones should get more time. If that's the case, then it drops because Arizona is sticking with their quarterback. Los Angeles is sticking with their quarterback. And then you get to 6, the Giants, and there's no way. Tennessee Titans at 7, no way. Atlanta Falcons at 8, no way. You see, by what no way, I mean there's no way that those quarterbacks pass those positions. Those positions in the draft. There's no way because they're just too good to think that those guys would be on the board still. Woody Brown, hey Bear, how you doing? I'm doing good, brother. Appreciate you asking. How do you feel about Jeremiah Trotter from Clemson? Oh yeah, Jeremiah Trotter's son. I always like it when a kid comes behind his dad and makes it in the NFL. And I hope you don't see that as like a cop out. I'm not talking about his stats and all this other stuff. It's not that. It's just, I would say that whenever you see a guy like Patrick Surtain, his son, and what he's doing with the Broncos, you see pedigree, and there's an education that they get that those same kids can't get because they don't have dads that played in the NFL. Amik Robertson was 4 inches taller. He'd be a shutdown corner. Appreciate that one, Rendell. 1993, when we had a defense with anything. Yeah. I mean, it's been a while. Gil Moody, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Congratulations on your win, Gil. I can say that now. I'm over it. I just needed a few days. So you timed that perfectly. Oh, Rob Ryan is still in the building too. Rendell Rhodes, I don't think he will be. I really don't. I don't think he's going to be there much longer. Oh, Gil, you grew out your beard. Look, me too. I just left one little patch of white. I didn't just like it. Marvin Lewis, assistant head coach. Okay. Russell Wilson is a has-been. Plus, Wilson would cost too much. No, not this time, Tony. This is probably going to be his last contract, and he would know that. So his agent will work to get him a good deal, but it ain't going to be much better than that. Than a few bucks. Plus, Wilson would cost too much. Still don't agree with that. Baker Mayfield, Wilson, and Cousins are going to be $40 million cap hits. Rendell Rhodes, I don't think so, because we're doing a lot to get our cap space back, and we started with quite a bit. We were somewhere in the neighborhood of 34 to 33 million. Now it's 42 million in cap storage. Yeah, it was 38.8 million, and then they got it up to 4.2. They basically, when Jimmy G is gone officially, that'll bring us over. What was the other one? Sorry, look at my. Oh yeah, Brandon Faison, he's out. That's going to count for $3 million. Jerry Tillery is out. That counts for $3 million. That's $6 more million right there. And remember, you're not signing that many players to that kind of contract. And Brian Hoyer obviously is gone. He was 92,000 against the cap, which is still, almost $100,000. So that'll be good for us. All right. The free agent market is going to be loaded this offseason. I would love it if we signed the defensive tackle from the Ravens, Justin Madubuike, and Devin White from Tampa Bay. Devin White would be nice. Can't agree with you more on that one. Mark Vargas, Bear, I've been watching your show the last 6 years. from Klamath Falls to Modesto, California, and now Arizona. Love you, brother. Love everybody, but love you, brother. I appreciate that. All right. That made my night. My guy, Witchy. What's up, Winchell? Welcome to the show, brother. Mr. Winchell. Steeler Val, what's up? Anna Diaz Rincon is back. I like that. Mr. Bear, I don't know. Oh, that's Tommy. I don't know as much about football as you do, but I hope Mr. Graham stays. He turned the defense around after the dummy head coach was fired. You know, Tommy, you probably couldn't have written that comment any better. That's pretty good. But while I agree with you, I don't agree with you because although Mr. Graham, and I love how you keep that Mr. up, you keep that up, Mr. Raider Bear, and our defensive coordinator, Mr. Graham, will probably move on. And the reason why, Tommy, is if I said to you, Tommy, I will give you a classroom full of toys, any toys you want for a year, okay? Or you can go through a Walmart anywhere in the world for the next 5 years and pick whatever you want. Every time you just pick whatever you want and leave. It's yours. Free, no money on both situations. Well, obviously you're going to take the Walmart one because you can do a lot more with that one. It allows you to get clothes and this and that, not just toys. You see what I mean? Plus there's toys, like 5 aisles of toys. So what I'm getting at is Patrick Graham is getting offers from other jobs that will pay him like my Kmart, Walmart scenario. He will get a lot more money. He probably will be put in a position where whoever the head coach of that team, when they go down, Patrick Graham will probably have it written in his contract that he at the least would get an interview to become the next head coach there. And they'll want to do that, you know, no matter where he ends up because he's black. And that takes care of the Rooney Rule. Have your mom explain that to you. You probably know. You're so smart. Matthew Lincoln, why are people so mad about the pickup? Matthew Lincoln, I think it's because we didn't get Champ Kelly because Champ Kelly's always been with us. I tried to get Raider Nation to calm down on that by reminding them that Champ Kelly's not going anywhere. He loves the Raiders. He loves Mark Davis. He's gone on and on about it. I don't know if you've seen the interviews, but look it up. And then more importantly, when he was with the Bears, he didn't talk about the Bears like that ever. I just can't believe I'm with the Bears and they gave me a chance. He never did that. I looked. Okay. But now he comes to the Raiders and he's smiling ear to ear, looking around at the press conference. Yeah, I'm going to like this. And so the fact that we brought in Tom Telesco from the formerly of the Chargers, that's just going to put Champ back in the other roster responsibilities that he has. For example, Mark Davis just wants to bring him back. And more importantly, the last time when they were interviewing for Josh McDaniels, they interviewed Champ Kelly for the head coaching job. Now, could that have just been to satisfy the Rooney Rule? I don't know. We'll never really know. You know what I mean? But he is going to still be with the Raiders organization, and he will still get to apply for the job if this guy doesn't work out. So it'd probably be another 3-4 years of him taking it nice and easy, being Mark Davis's yes man and respected yes man, and getting ready for his next interview. Troy Gill, Leslie Frazier has forgotten more about football than Paul Graham knows, in my opinion. Joey Rivera, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Oh, wow. That's dope. I've never seen is that a horse? Okay, right on. Let me see. Troy Gill, I like Patrick Graham, and I know most of you remember me when we hired him. I said, great hire, formal hire, the Giants, and it was the year prior to us hiring him that he stopped us and had a nasty defense that our Raiders just could not deal with. And we ended up losing to a team that we clearly should have beaten, but it was only because of how well the defense played. Because that guy, Daniel Jones, I think he was hurt. They were on a backup quarterback and a backup running back, and all these backups are in there, and we still lost. So he knows his defense, and when we got him, I was happy about that. Anthony Penn, what's up, AP? Welcome to the show. James and Princetta Walker in the house for a Raider Bear. What's up, brother? There's also a lot of teams who need coaches. Yeah. I believe we already have an offensive tackle in the building. His name is Thayer Mumford, but Rendell Rhodes, Thayer Mumford is going to stay on the team. He may win the right tackle position, but you can't just assume that, you know what I mean? And plus we still have DJ Fluker in the house, that kind of thing. But to me, I look for those younger guys in the draft because I'm going to get them for $4, maybe $5 million a year. Whereas I got to pay these other guys, more. I don't know exactly what, but definitely a lot more. Tony, make it dip! What's up, R8RBEAR Bear? What's up with you, John? How goes Niner business? Honestly, I had the Packers beating you, John. I really did. I had the Packers beating you. And I feel like you got bailed out by a handful of good plays by Brock Purdy. And I'm going to say that with respect because Brock Purdy was a 7th round, dead last, Mr. Irrelevant pick. And yet you're going to the playoffs again. You know what I mean? So pretty frustrated. So if I should at any moment just frustratedly go, shut up, John. Don't feel offended, but shut up, John. Put foots in you. Congratulations on the Niners. Jose Valenzuela. I did say Milfy. My wife's Milfy. Titans just took a 1st-round quarterback last year and won the year before that. Rendell Rhodes, I get that. But if you don't think you got the guy, you pick another one. They don't necessarily have to pick one in the 1st round, but they may pick one in the later round. So they won't affect us quite as much. I agree with that. Every time you ring that bell, I think Santa Claus will be joining the show. I have a sexy Santa Claus in her Santa Claus pants, I can tell you that. Daniels is Randall Cunningham-ish. Okay. That's a good comparison because he can run a little bit and throw off the run. I like that. AP will bring back the Raider persona that we need back. Yeah, I can agree with that. I really can. Marvin Lewis. I thought it was Leslie Frazier. Okay. Tony, make it dip. Fear us. R8RBEAR Bear. Whoops. R8RBEAR Bear. Oh, whoops. R8RBEAR Bear. I gotta keep doing it until I get it. Okay. R8RBEAR Bear. I like the fact that AP was bringing in people like Tom Coughlin and Marvin Lewis and others. To me, it shows that he knows what he doesn't know, as opposed to being prideful. That's a sign of a good leader. Now, absolutely. And we all wanted AP back, and we knew he motivated that locker room, but he's never been a head coach. So for the fact that we see him now, instead of having an ego like Josh McDaniels did at 2 different franchises, us and the Broncos, it's AP who's reaching out to people who understand the game to tell him, how should I handle this as a coach? Should I start which practices at what time? When should I watch for this? And da-da-da-da-da, Jordan Tarvis, Florida, 6'1", 212. Dude, I don't know. Maybe their size is being so close is one more reason why I just feel like I don't feel like any one of these guys stands out to me. None of them. You could ding almost every quarterback in this draft for one thing or another, and it's legit. You know what I mean? Even Caleb Williams. There are those, who've been on my show that have said, no, Bear, you don't want him, because they've watched most or all of Caleb Williams' games, and they see him as a wild card. I tried to say to my friend who was saying that to me, it's a friend of mine, it wasn't just the audience, but a friend of mine basically said, Caleb Williams will screw up in the NFL because he'll try to do the same things he did in college, but he won't be able to do them because those big linemen are faster than any lineman he was running away from, and linebackers he was running away from in the past aren't going to be as fast and big as the ones he's going to face at the NFL level. So I'm scared to draft any of these quarterbacks. So Nubbin ain't Lubbin agrees with me, I think, on what I just said. Welcome to the show, brother. Do you know if the Raiders will have press conference to introduce Tom and AP? Oh, yeah, they will. I just don't know when. Caleb is a diva and not a team guy. Edward Worth, the only then I asked the Raiders to do in this year's draft is to get a right for a change. Yeah, that would be nice. Lance Sanfilippo, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I haven't seen you in a while. I agree with you about AOC. Get an O-line, and we will be great. I just think if you give AOC an offense that he's allowed to scout for full upcoming to the season, get him in OTAs, get him in camp, get him in the preseason, and then cut him loose, let him rust out in the first game of the season. I don't think we're far off. We definitely need help or max on the D line and shore up on O line. I'm tired of drafting cornerbacks getting constant pressure on QBs makes easier on corners, I'd rather have a stud linebacker. Okay. Although that's one of the places where we've had some success with repairing the team, though. So they might not agree with you as far as linebacker. Didn't get this on last night's show, but what if Daniels or Williams pulls an Eli Elway and demands a trade to the Raiders? Could it happen? The answer is yes. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. It's possible. Is it likely? No. I'm going to go with no. I just don't think so. I think there's a chance in other words, I think there's a chance the draft pick will do it, but I don't know that the team on the other side of it, being our Raiders, would want to go, yeah, give him to us. He doesn't want to be with you guys, because what we would be doing is we would be setting a precedent where the team is now just as culpable in something the NFL doesn't want to see, is teams hijacking picks, and then saying to another team, hey, I got that guy. I heard you wanted this guy. Can you give me 17 picks and I'll give you him? And so let's not get into that. I'll be going live at the 10 p.m. PST Pacific Standard Time for the news and updates. Possible press conference tomorrow morning. Right on, Anna Diaz-Renko. Right? I'm saying. Alexa, kick my beat.
Here's the chicken wing beat.
No, now we have to hear it. I dare you to twerk. Alexa, play Hide by NASA, because that song sucked. I like to squeeze in those comments at the last second. Oh, man. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. God bless the Raiders, Raider Nation, and all my friends and loved ones. I hope you had a great night. I had a great night. We will look up to see who the winner of this fine items is, and I will be sending it to you soon. Anna, a couple more days. It's on its way. Raiders! Woo! I'm not even tired. Let's go. Cut the music. We're going to do another hour right now. Maybe 2 hours. I'm ready. Nothing can stop me. We're going to do it right now.